Shall I introduce it as episode 19, or shall I introduce it as season 2, episode 6? Season 2, episode 6.
Season 2, episode 6.
Yeah, that's what we're on. Apparently.
Is it?
Yeah.
When did the season start?
I started the season after our first. So the first
anniversary,
season was
so
our
the
anniversary.
October.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're on season 2. Anyway.
Yeah. That.
I'm titillated by us having season 2.
Yeah.
I suppose the leaderboard is kind of doing that.
But that's on an annual
Lighthouse. Welcome to episode 19 of the movie. Which one do you want? Welcome to episode 19 of the movie Lighthouse. Right. Which one? The other one. Yeah.
Whichever you like, mate.
Well, I've been doing. Let's just keep it as it is.
Yeah.
Say AKA.
I'll do both.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 19 of the movie Lighthouse, shining a light through the fog of film. My name is James.
I'm Laurie.
And I'm Wyndham.
Okay, so this is, I should tell you guys, as you already know now, season 2, episode 6. Or
As
episode
well
6,
as
season 2. As well as
19.
episode 19.
Right.
Yeah,
Covering
we are
all the bases.
pocking them up.
We really are.
Yeah, and thank you for all the new listeners we've been getting. But we've had a little bit of feedback and lots of people signing up to the website and stuff. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's cool.
Facebook, I should say.
I was going to say, we've got a website?
No, we haven't got a website.
We've got a Facebook. We've got a Twitter.
Yeah.
We've got a...
An Insta-wang?
Should we tell them about that at the end?
We could tell them about that at the end, but we're kind of talking
We are
about it
kind of doing it
now.
now.
Well, okay. Alright, so Movie Lighthouse, just type that in and find us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
done.
either of those forums. I'm going to call it a forum.
Either of the 3 of the forums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either of the 3 of the forums.
Yeah, please get in touch. It's
One
always
little
nice to
thing
hear from
about
you.
the social media though. So the Facebook page had a few shares earlier on in the week, and I got really excited. I was like, "Oh wow, that's great!" And I saw someone called Lisa Baruski. She shared a couple of our episodes, and I was like, "Oh, cool, man!" And I sort of checked her
Did she
profile.
say she wanted us to read her name out?
Well, no, not at all. So a big shout out to Lisa. But this is the
Hi,
thing.
Lisa.
No. This is the thing. So we live in the modern world, don't we? And we're in this strange, weird, new frontier. All right, where social media. I found out a thing about called click farming. Click farming. Are you aware of click farming? Basically,
That's your chicken farming.
it's very, very similar. You have walls and walls and walls and thousands of not chickens, but mobile phones that interact
I have heard about
with
this.
pages and click likes and stuff. It's all lies. So it's effectively like this fib profile of a thing that's going into...
Please don't tell me that the few likes we had are...
This is the thing. Lisa, tell me you are real. Tell me you have emotions. You have dreams. You
No,
aspire.
don't ruin it. Lisa, just...
Lisa,
we
don't
believe in
tell
you.
us. Nate, remain an enigma. But also, Hugo Ramos, do you really exist? You liked our page. I checked your profile out, Hugo.
Yeah.
You've got a little a photo. You like a film called Never Let Me Go. Brilliant film. Wonderful film. And I liked that little picture you had on your profile. But are you a click... Are you not
Are you
real?
or are you a Nokia?
William, you should know the answer to this.
What's that?
Who wrote Never Let Me Go? I don't want to sound
Atasho
like that. That's exactly what I do want to sound. He did Remain to the Day as well.
It's a great film.
Yeah, Never Let Me Go is amazing.
It's a beautiful
We
story.
should do that
Well, it's a horrible story, actually. But this is the
Oh, Kazuo Ishiguro.
That's it.
Yeah.
Is that not
I
what I
met
said?
him and he signed my book for me.
Your bot book?
My book.
Oh, right, your book. Okay.
I went to...
Wow.
He was doing a reading of his short stories. They were all right.
Very good.
I'd say come in a little.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? The mic of the lighthouse. But this is it, again, which is going to this, creativity, inspiration. Again, I've bleated on about this kind of stuff
You're
before,
making
but
my arms go numb. Can we carry on?
we had it very simple. We had 3 TV channels. We got Radical and we got 4. We had, essentially a common ground amongst
Laurie,
people.
the computer will be turning
We can't
itself
even
off at this
believe-
point. Stop it.
It's going to be hard. Inspiration is going to be a very different thing.
Should we get on with the show?
Yes.
All right. So, news. I've got some news.
Go on in.
I found Hiroko the Goblin.
And have you watched it?
I've watched half of it.
Oh, you still can't get through it, even with English subtitles.
Well, I thought what we could do is like stretch it out, and then we could share it around each month. But I haven't finished it yet, so we could stretch it out over, and then when we've all watched it, we could grade it.
Yeah,
because it's not fair otherwise. It should get a fair hearing.
I've already watched it
With the subtitles.
in Chinese subtitles.
Well, these have got English subtitles, so I know what's kind of going on.
okay. Well, we could share, but at the moment I feel we're sharing pain.
I think I'm pretty bob on my review of this.
Yeah.
I'd be amazed if I'm too far off the mark. But
Well,
yeah, you're right. We should watch it.
We should watch it, and we
Okay.
should give it a because we never scored it.
So that's Hiroko the Goblin.
I'm loving your mastery of
Japanese.
the East Asian languages today.
Yeah. Do you want to see my face?
I don't.
No, I can do the face.
Don't stop.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that leads us into one of our listeners sent us the top 20 Japanese horror films by
that's very
The
sweet of them.
Guardian. And I thought I'd just give you the top 10 and tell
Ring.
me if you've seen them. All right, we could do that. Ring is number 1.
Uzumaki.
Uzumaki's. Have you seen the list?
No, I haven't
Did
seen
you
them
send
yet.
them?
Vicky sent you the list as well.
I did not look at it. I didn't look at it.
Oh,
I didn't look
you're
at
going to be
it.
this sort of guy
Do
today.
you know what
are
I've been doing recently?
With them, let me tell you the top 10.
Please do.
Tag, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Then we've got Cure, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
No.
Confessions, never heard of it.
No.
And I was starting to lose will to live here. And then Uzumaki.
Whoa.
Seen that. Dark Water, seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. The Grudge,
Yeah.
yeah, seen that. Tetsuo, the Iron Man.
Tetsuo. Yeah. That's not really horror. That's kind of like
Audition.
an industrial.
That's supposed to be a very good audition, actually.
Yes, it
And
is.
then Kiro.
Kiro.
Cairo,
Cairo.
I don't know.
Okay.
And Rig.
Eleanor Rigg. Right, that's really great. Thanks for that. I'm sure the listeners have taken loads from that.
Do we have Japanese horror as a topic?
Laurie
Is it
will
in
know.
your ball bag of
Laurie will
wonder?
know because Laurie requested the topic list so he could research all
Okay.
his films.
All right.
How's
Now,
that working out for you, Laurie?
I haven't done any research.
None at all.
Well,
you
no,
went,
because-
you've
no,
going
no.
on and on about this, and I knew this would be the case.
Look, I'm just very conscious. You know, once your ball is plucked, right? We have, and like you two are
That's
both
the point,
isn't it?
That's the point.
exactly. You were both really fed up and grumpy, and you want to go back to your hammocks. So I'm sat there, and I've literally got 5 minutes to come up to plunk
But
up.
that's the point.
An absolute gem.
That is the point. That's the point. That
Well,
we
no,
have to
that's how you're
wait.
going to do it
having
anyway, because
five-
you have had the list for a month.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you haven't looked
And
at
to
it.
be honest, Laurie,
Yeah,
you've been
right.
banging on about Portmanteau since I've known you, and you couldn't choose the right ones.
Yeah. I chose one of the right ones.
Right. Who's got some news with them?
I don't have any news.
Oh.
No.
Okay. I've got quite a bit.
Super quick bit of sad news that I just wanted to shout out. There's a chap called Jonas Mikas that we lost earlier on in the year. Jonas Mikas.
Okay.
He's a filmmaker, artist kind of guy.
Yeah.
He wouldn't make the normal kind of film as it well, most in the traditional sense as it were.
What did he make?
He made like home movies, and the reason why he made home movies because he was living, and he lives because he makes home movies. I think that's a direct
Well, he's
quote
not
from
anymore,
him.
is he?
But no,
No offence.
Sorry. Yeah. But no, he came from Poland, something like that. Came over to New York. It was all part of the sort of Andy Warhol scene.
Okay.
So he got caught up with all of that, and he would just like make these amazing, inspiring kind of films. Very sort of improvisational films. He'd make some really interesting, sort of strange, random edits to give it some strange, tenuous kind of narrative.
Tell us
Okay.
where to go. What film we should check out?
What films should you check out? There's a few, but I would say Walden. Definitely check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the film that he did about Andy Warhol, A Day in the Life of Andy Warhol, I believe it's called.
Okay.
That will be something definitely worth watching. But it was all part of that whole sort of, Velvet Underground kind of era at that time.
Yeah.
That early sort of 60s.
They've just released it, haven't they?
New York
Talked about
feel.
that last
So Jonas Mikas, sad, but we have lost him. Another one, a bit more straightforward news. Cujo
Yeah.
which is essentially kind of an unsung classic, really, isn't it?
Well, we've reviewed it.
We
Do you
have
remember?
reviewed it because we're on the money.
Yeah.
Who chose Cujo?
Me probably.
Yeah, in 5 minutes. Anyway, doesn't matter. But Eureka will always do really good quality prints, really good release. They've taken Cujo, and we've got a lovely release of Cujo out
I'm
there
not
now.
watching it again.
Well, I might.
Okay.
You do that.
Yeah, it's a
But
bit...
then again, these films of the 80s and stuff like that. Again, I think we might have touched on it before, but like, do you really need to see Cujo high definition?
This is the real problem
Surround
here,
sound.
because they're doing all the classic Doctor Who series. They're making them into Blu-ray, and
Right.
it's like the high definition. You know, you needed it to be a little bit blurry because
Exactly.
you really see the joins.
It's so you kind of lose a little bit of the dream, don't
Yeah.
you? It's like again, like a Razorhead, or definitely, obviously, the obvious film would be Videodrome. You know, Videodrome is
Yeah.
actually about the VHS. So if you got it in high definition, that sort of dreaming, fluffy edges, that quality is kind of lost.
Yeah.
I think Cujo might stand up for a bit of high def. I'll let you know.
So we're going to add a bit of a special feature at the end of the podcast today, which is we're going to review Velvet Buzzsaw.
Oh, great! Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we
'cause
did
we
promise
said
we would do
yeah.
that. And we've all seen it, haven't we?
We have. I've seen it. Have you
Yeah,
seen it?
yeah.
We've all seen it. You seen it, Laurie?
I've seen Velvet Buzzsaw.
I'm just struck by you talking about Doctor Who. How much your hair looks like David Capaldi's. Less grey.
Peter Capaldi's.
Peter Capaldi's.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, great.
Reminds me
It
of
doesn't.
One of the
Yeah.
most unpopular doctors.
There's a beautiful wave to it. Actually, if I stare at
It's a
it long
beautiful
enough,
Yeah.
oh, that's
I can hear the
tender.
sea.
Yes.
All right. So, one last bit of news, which is quite exciting, but quite exciting. So excited about is, in a nutshell, last Halloween, Laurie and I became very pretentious and wrote short horror stories.
Whoa, back the hell up. Yours wasn't pretentious. Mine was pretentious.
Right. So, but this year, the challenge is to make a short horror film
A film.
of no more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, so anything between, I think it's 2 to 10
Oh,
minutes
no, it
long.
could be 30 seconds, I suppose.
Actually, yeah.
So-
Too shame on me.
so I was-
30
I was-
seconds to 10 minutes.
I was doing a bit of market research with a listener last night, and who I was telling this idea to, and he's a filmmaker, and he really wants to make a film.
Oh, fantastic.
So, I thought we could put out the challenge to anybody who wants to do it,
Yeah.
and then if we get 5 or more films, and as soon as those 4 of us are in the competition already at the moment,
Yeah.
we could have a screening.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. Where could we do this said screening?
Oh well, I've got all that covered.
Yeah?
I've got places we could do
The
screenings.
local YMCA kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which would be fine.
Yeah, I think youth club really.
Okay.
But yeah, so that'd be good.
How exciting.
Yeah. So if you would like to enter our competition, all you really have to do is make the film and send it to us before Halloween. Maybe 2
You've
weeks
got some
before
time.
Halloween. Yeah.
And does anything kind of go? Apart from
No.
nothing can be harmed in the
Right.
making of the
No
film?
snuff movies, no porn.
What, to a degree?
Well, I don't want anything controversial.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Well, no, you know what I mean. Just be sensible. It's not
Okay, be
X-rated.
sensible, kids.
Keep it to an 18 and stuff. Yeah?
Yeah.
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 What's above 18?
And we're not playing it if we don't like it.
Oh, no, that's a great challenge. So anything from 30 seconds to 10 minutes.
The movie Lighthouse Film Festival.
The
Brilliant.
Movie Night House Halloween Independent Film Festival.
Ruined it by adding
Pretend-
4 new words.
Pretend independent.
Alright, should we get on with the show?
Yeah.
Okay, so, let's go in the bean.
Okie dokie.
Oh, I can't get enough of that.
Who wants to go first? Wyndham.
Yeah, all right. Why not? I watched really good film, recent film called Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I haven't heard
Really good. Stellar cast. Well, certainly chimes with me because it's one of my 2 gay dads, Jeff Bridges,
Right.
being brilliant. It's got Cynthia Erivo, so she was in Widows. She's a Peckham girl who's beginning to make it big in the US. She was,
Wicked.
so she was in Widows. She's amazing in this. She's like a singer. It's based in the 60s, and the El Royale is a hotel that straddles Californian and Nevada state lines. So as you walk in, they say, do you want to stay in California or in Nevada?
Fictionally, or this is actually a...
Yeah, it's a true story.
Okay.
And Jeff Bridges turns up dressed as a priest. It starts with, you see this window looking into one of the hotel rooms, and this guy comes in, pulls the carpet up, rips the floor up, buries something, puts the floor back down, puts the carpet back down, goes to the door. There's a guy outside. He turns around and then, and then it kind of kicks in. But basically, you've got kind of four distinct storylines, each based around one of the guests who pitches up at this now really run down and tired hotel.
Sounds like Pulp
Really
Fiction.
good. Yeah, it's got that kind of feel to it, and it kind of tells each story one by one and kind of builds it over time. It's got what's his name, Hemsworth in it. Chris Hemsworth is in it. John Hamm is in it. Dakota Johnson's in it. Kaylee Spaney. Really, really well worth watching. It's brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it.
Bad Times at the El Royale.
El Royale. And at the moment, it is on Amazon. Amazon Video. I don't think it's on Prime yet.
Right, okay.
For free money.
Yeah, it's not for free money yet.
Oh.
But it's brilliant. It's well worth it.
Okay.
Good stuff. Laurie.
Okay. I have seen quite a few things, so I'm going to plumb with some... whatever. Ash versus the Evil Dead. It's been on Netflix for quite a while now. And if you are remotely a fan of Evil Dead and those films, then you are going to frickin' love Ash versus the Evil Dead. As I say, it's already been out for a while.
Yeah.
So anyone...
Is it on season 2 now?
I think it's on season 3, but so Netflix, where it originally dropped, you've only got the first season, which is all that I've watched so far.
Yeah.
But they freaking nailed it. Obviously, Sam Raimi's completely all over it, so he's directed it. But oh Christ's sake, how could I forget the Bruce
Springsteen.
No, Bruce
Lee.
Shit, I cannot forget his name. Evil Dead, the Evil Dead. Bruce, my boy Campbell.
Oh.
Christ, is spot on. Obviously, Ash, that character. Okay, what would Ash be like nowadays after those amount of years since you last saw him in The Arm of Darkness? Exactly like this. Perfect.
Without spoiling the end of because I've never seen The Arm of Darkness.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't be bothered with the medieval thing. He got back from medieval times, I take it.
Without ruining the end.
Don't really, Anyway.
Army of Darkness definitely goes off into this silly sort of Monty Python nutsness. There's some beautiful, amazing moments in it. But yeah, we're really talking about Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry much about the Army of Darkness. It's not really tied too much into that. But Ash versus the Evil Dead is just absolutely superb.
Did they
not saying anything
explain
new
in Ash versus Evil Dead why Evil Dead 2 is basically half the film is a remake of the Evil Dead 1?
No, but
They
that would
should
be
do that.
funny.
That would
It
be great.
should do that.
Yeah. All right. Mine is a film called Malena. It's an Italian film based in Italy in the just before the Second World War.
Malena.
Yeah, and it's kind of a quirky little film about a woman who is really beautiful, and all the lads in the town just like salivate and follow her around. And because she's so beautiful,
That's no way to put a chick, by the way. Just salivating and following them.
well, they're only
You're gonna
like,
have to.
they're only like 13, 14-year-olds, these kids.
Oh, that's fine.
And this young kid falls in love with her, but because she's so beautiful, her husband's away at war or something. The rest of the town just turn against her, and it's just really horrible to her. So it goes from really, really funny scenes to like gobstopping, gobsmacking, shocking. This is horrible, you know. Then it's great. So
wow.
there you go. That's my choice.
Poor Malena.
Good.
Okay.
Malena.
Back to salivating. So apparently, turns out that once, I think about 2 or 3 days in a lady's cycle, she'll be attracted. What?
Who was that listener that you're talking to? She'll be turning off right
What?
about now.
No! I've only just seen it via science.
You
Apparently,
said talking about salivating. Now you're talking about the menstrual cycle. Yeah.
look, I'm just saying in like a sort of a cycle. There's 2 to 3 days where they'll be attracted to certain notes in a gentleman's saliva and urine.
Love on the rocks, Ain't no surprise.
Let's on the rocks.
Moving on.
All right.
What?
So I've got one, and I can't remember the name of it because it was so awful. It's just come out on Netflix, and it's a comedy about a woman who wakes up in a romantic comedy. Has anyone seen that advertised? It's got quite a large lady, Australian large lady in it. No?
The funny one.
Well, I didn't think it was funny. It was awful. I turned it off. That's why I'm not even going to mention the name of it. It was like, oh, I'm in a romantic comedy. and it's just awful.
Okay.
So so stay away from that.
Anything that sounds remotely like that, steer clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I should have really got the name, but it just came to me.
Well, no, yeah, if you have that synopsis...
I'll have a look.
Just
Wyndham, have you got anything?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And it was probably another barn door one that I needn't have watched. But my wife and I sat down one evening, on Sunday night, couldn't bother to watch a film we had to think about, anything like that.
Yeah.
So we watched the recent Marvel film, Venom.
Total. I haven't even seen it. I saw the
wow.
advert.
So
the
this
trailer.
is your...
What
Dog
a
shit.
load
Really?
oh my goodness. It's
Because it did quite well at the box office.
It's just not very good. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know whether it wants to be a Deadpool type Marvel movie or it wants to be an original X-Men type movie. It doesn't know whether its audience is children or adults. And this has got the feel of a film that has been absolutely butchered post-wrap. So during the kind of editing and all that kind of stuff. It's a real shame. You know, I really like Riz Ahmed, who's in it.
Riz Ahmed's good. He was in your Star Wars film, Laurie.
Yeah,
He was. He got blown up.
Yeah, and I have a love-hate relationship with Tom Hardy and some of the stuff he does, but it's just rubbish. It is really poor.
Well,
he plays. So he does
Venom as a character is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
They haven't managed to make it very cool in two of the attempts they've had. Spider-Man 3 was awful.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this is rubbish.
Just to let you know, by the way, it was called Romantic Comedy.
Romantic
No, it
comedy.
wasn't. Sorry.
That's your note.
It's called Isn't It Romantic with Rebel Wilson.
The
Don't
Rebel
watch
Wilson,
it.
that's the one that I meant.
Awful.
I like Rebel though, she's a
It's
good
got
girl.
Hemsworth in it as well. So there's a little link.
Which Hemsworth?
Oh, I don't know.
One of them.
Yeah.
I thought it was a type of stitching. Anyway, so I tried my damnedest because I haven't found anything on the rocks for a while. But I went down there the other day and I made the effort for you guys, and I thought it was going to be Jeepers Creepers 2, but it turns out no, there's actually attributes to that, so I'm not going to put that on the rocks. So then I saw Alien Resurrection. No, Alien. Yeah. Resurrection. Yeah,
Alien 4.
Alien 4.
Yeah.
AKA, and I thought, quid's in. No, I'm not going to put that on the rocks either.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not.
So you haven't got it on the
No.
rocks? I'm glad you didn't put Alien 4 on, because I do like that. Alright, so let's get on with the main feature. Portmanteau.
Lighthouse.
What's a portmanteau, James?
Well, I'm going to get onto that. I'm just reading my notes because I don't think this is applicable for this, but I've got here. James, what would you have chosen? Who chose? I chose, didn't I?
Yeah, you did choose. So
Right,
James,
so I'm looking at what would I put forward. And I put Creepshow. I think I'd have put Creepshow.
Fantastic.
I always like Creepshow.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you a little bit of information about portmanteau. So, according to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, the adjective portmanteau means something which combines more than one use or quality. When we talk about a portmanteau in the context of cinema, essentially we mean a film which is comprised of several shorter, self-contained pieces or articles.
so there you go.
So
Quickly-
I've got here
I'll go.
top 10 of portmanteaus. Right, so we'll just whiz through these so you know them. Creepshow 2, number 10.
What?
The Chung King Express.
No.
Number 8, From Beyond the Grave. Peter Cushing.
Ooh.
Oh, hold on, it might not be Peter Cushing. I have a problem with these guys. Is that Peter Cushing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Vincent Price.
From Beyond the Grave. I need to watch that. I haven't seen that.
Number 7, The Tales of Hoffman.
No.
Number 6, Creepshow.
Yeah.
Number 5, Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah. So Creep Show was actually completely inspired by Tales from the Crypt, the one that we are reviewing.
Get on that.
Okay.
Number 4, Spirits of the Dead.
No.
Number 3, The Dead of Night.
Yes! Brilliant one.
Number 2, Black Sabbath.
Brilliant one.
And number 1, Quaidan.
Quaidan, yes, that's a Japanese one. I've got that, and I actually kicked myself because I voted Black Sabbath or Three Faces of Fear.
Yeah, you don't get to choose the ones that you didn't vote.
Of horror, and I should have said maybe Quaidan.
All right, and the last bit of information I've got about Portmanteau is music. I can only think of one Portmanteau song, which is Bohemian Rhapsody, which I think comprises different elements into one song.
There's a lot of Beatles ones.
Go on, give us one.
Oh fucking hell! Fuck off.
Day in the Life.
You can't say Day in the Life. I was thinking that there's like quite a few on Abbey Road in there.
All right, so we're going to keep this brief, but before we get onto the main feature, we're going to talk about the films that got away. So, Cat's Eyes.
Cat's Eyes, yeah. Stephen King, Cat's Eyes.
Yeah.
Following a cat. It's not necessarily all horror. It's kind of, I suppose, a little bit more sort of Twilight Zone. The ending sort of, what's it called? The crescendo is slightly more horror, where you got a little troll in Drew Barrymore's
Don't give it away.
wall. But that's a really, really good film, really good fun. You can learn how to give up smoking. You can learn how to walk around a building on the outside of that building. And then you can also learn how to sleep peacefully without a troll sucking your essence.
Oh,
Nice.
and the other one is The Vault of Horror.
Okay, Vault of Horror. Again, very similar to the Tales of the Crypt, but you'll have Roy Castle. I can't remember actually if Roy Castle's in that particular one. But anyway, all these dudes are all kind of together with some strange guy, and they find out why they're actually dead. And Tom Baker's there. And Tom Baker's story is very linked. So when we talk about Velvet Buzzsaw in our spin-off, that's the only film that I can really think that kind of almost links to art killing people, because you have Tom Baker painting and accidentally killing, well, not accidentally, deliberately killing people.
Let's go on with the main feature then. So, we are going to look at Tales from the Crypt. Sorry, we'll look at Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's play a clip.
Death lives in Tales from the Crypt. Welcome to the Crypt. You are invited on a guided tour of a world of darkness, where nightmares become reality. Death lives.
Alright, so let me give you some facts. It was released in 1972. Director Freddie Francis. Screenplay by Milton Subotsky and Al Feldstein Stories. Adapted from EC Comics. Music was Douglas Gamley. The box office, it made 170,000.
Wow.
A gross USA 3 million. So
Okay.
not bad. Didn't we, awards.
No.
It didn't win any awards. That was from last month. And the sequels and spin-offs was The Vault of Horror, also known as Tales from the Crypt 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They call it that?
Notable actors, there's loads of them, because obviously it's Portmanteau, but Ralph Richardson as a crypt keeper, Jeffrey Belden as the guide. He also played the other part, didn't he? I think. Anyway, Joe Collins, and loads of other people.
Peter Cushing.
That's the one. That's who I was getting
And
confused with.
the awesome dude, we mustn't forget, what's his name? Oh, the dude that's in the last story.
Is he the blind guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he was good.
See, the problem is all these pictures in IMDb are so old.
I could not find. I was looking. Oh, I think I got his name actually.
Patrick McGee.
Yes.
Patrick McGee. So where have we seen Patrick McGee before?
Prisoner.
Is he in The Prisoner?
Patrick McGee.
No, that's
No.
McGowan. But I was thinking exactly. I was thinking that was
Right. So where have we seen Patrick McGee?
You've
before?
seen Patrick McGee. Look at his face. Oh, where have I seen you before? he does a phenomenal performance in A Clockwork Orange. He's the husband of the woman that gets done over, and then Alex comes back to the house, and then he realises who he is.
Well spotted.
So that's Patrick McGee.
Okay, so going to talk a little bit about first memories. Now, for me, about 15 years ago, I always loved. I had a few comics when I was a kid of Tales From the Crypt. So, So I bought them all.
Yeah.
I got them like in a batch.
Have you still got them?
Yeah.
Oh, can I borrow them?
Yeah. And I love them because they're all basically the same sort of story. Everybody who does something wrong gets really badly fucked over. It's like, if you break the rules, you are. And it was always. And so watching the film again. It was just like reading the comic, because you'd have 3 stories usually, and one would be about someone coming back from the grave, one would be some terrible curse, and one would be about someone being cruel and getting their comeuppance or something.
Which is kind of exactly what this is, isn't it?
So I was very pleased to have this. Jeffrey Belden played Catweasel, by the way. Just came to me.
He's not in this though, is he?
He played a guide.
Oh yes, of course he does. You're absolutely right. Yes, at the beginning we never see him again, which is a shame.
Yeah,
because he's great.
Okay, anyone else got any connections to this film?
Connections to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get stumped when he asks us this.
All right. So, first memories?
I had never seen it before, so I watched it for this.
Yeah, I would have seen it sort of in my teenage years, and it's just that cosy, lovely. We're going to tell you some stories.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that sort of twist element. So yeah.
So you didn't get lent this in a video, or or your friends didn't produce it. Yeah, who's your
Graham.
mate who
Wasn't
always
Graham,
had all
was
these
it?
films?
What?
Graham.
Oh right. No. This wasn't introduced to me by Graham. No. This was staying up too late. I should have been in bed, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Win, what did you think?
I really liked it.
Ah,
really liked it.
You never really liked stuff.
No. Do you know what? I just think that kind of the concept of it, certainly for this and the next one, but it's, as you say, it's short stories with or without a link. Tales from the Crypt has a link to all of these 5 stories. And
what's that link?
It starts with all these 5 people pitching up at a church. Or it is a church, isn't it?
Yeah,
or
so what they all do,
they're on a
they're
tour.
going on a tour of a crypt, aren't they?
Yeah, and they get guided through. They get told not to lose their way by the guide. The guide then disappears, and they kind of go, "Well, let's go over there." And they end up in this room. Door slams shut, and this crypt keeper arrives and kind of appears.
He's a monk, isn't it?
Yeah, and
it's great because they as they're going round on the tour, they're all looking a little bit spooked.
Yeah,
they're talking about, this is where all the monks went and to be beheaded, and this is all their bodies, and then so it all really ties up. And do you have more of the synopsis? I don't know. We'll talk about each one. I think
it ties up in the sense that it's framed. Basically, they frame.
But they frame it well. It's not like just he hasn't turned up. He's as and the things I wrote down some things that we'll talk about, I suppose. But she's wearing her brooch. Yeah. So.
Oh right, yeah.
So the first story is with Joan Collins.
Yeah.
And it's gloriously tacky, very of its time, early 70s.
Yeah. Christmas Eve.
But what an amazing murder!
The amazing murder, or just the whole concept of it. That story, I thought was amazing. Was brilliant.
Yeah.
The idea that she kills her husband.
Yeah.
And then
because he's got like a massive insurance policy, right?
And then hears on the radio that a lunatic has escaped.
Yeah.
Dressed like
up Father Christmas.
Yeah.
And that if anybody sees him, they should immediately phone the police. The lunatic turns up at her house. She goes to phone the police, but then sees she's murdered her husband, so can't. Just that concept of
she needs to cover it up quickly, making it look like an accident, so then she can call the police.
Yeah, exactly. But she's got a little girl upstairs, kind of Christmas Eve, waiting for
Christmas.
Now, you could argue that it's all full of cliches, but this was years ago.
It's perfectly written. No, we're not saying cliches. It's great.
From the minute where the blood spurts onto the newspaper, it's such a good way to kill somebody. So, but visually, visually, isn't it? I mean, it wouldn't stand up in today's courts. What with just a little bit of scrubbing on that white
fur rug.
That's all the blood.
Probably would have quite a number of problems. But the forensic guys would come round and clearly test that blood and go, that's just really bright red paint.
Yeah. Just pause a minute because the counter stopped. So I'm going to start it again. All right. So so there were a couple of plot holes, I thought.
In that first story?
Yeah. Well, I thought the brooch was a plot hole and I was completely wrong, which was brilliant. Because it's like, why she said, that hasn't happened, why has she got a brooch on, blah, blah, blah. But also, she went to all that effort. She knows there's an escaped lunatic outside, which she kind of forgets about.
She does get a bit blasé.
There's
she?
a lot on Joan's mind. Come on, boys.
Yeah. She does start focusing on moving the body.
But all I'm saying is, escaped lunatic outside, dead man on the carpet. That's all you need.
Oh.
Why was she trying to master? She could just said he'd done it.
Yeah.
That's all I'd have done.
Damn it, these twisted minds. See, I didn't know. I wasn't actually.
But one of the things that I really like about this kind of format, these short stories, is plot holes are almost irrelevant.
They really are.
Almost. Because just the framing of the story is you just have to accept because you're just going to get 15,
that's
20
not.
minutes.
I don't suppose that's really a plot hole because it's just her. I mean, I've got here. I love the simplicity. I mean, the radio. We interrupt to tell you that a homicidal maniac is just.
Yeah. That's comic book, though, isn't it? Like you say, it's pulled out of that comic book.
And I thought it was quite creepy.
Yeah, the Santa is. He does creepy.
The saddest, the scariest thing was the Christmas tree, though. I mean, that is the saddest looking Christmas tree.
No, I had a real warm feeling. So images of that
wait, 2
retro.
years time, everyone will be over
Images of that retro Christmas. I mean, like those first opening scenes, and the old boy, he sneaks in, he puts the present under the tree, sits down, pours himself a little bit more sherry, sits down, has a little bit of a smoke. I had such a warm, bubbly feeling. The Christmas cards, the tree. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The music playing, and then obviously Joan turns up and slaps a fucking sword in his head. But I thought that was all lovely, really nice.
Well, look,
how many lines did Joan have in the whole of her story?
Have you counted them?
I counted.
23.
15. She said 15 lines. Bless her.
Well, there wasn't anyone for her to talk to.
She killed one of them, and she wanted the other one to go to sleep.
All right, look, we've got to move on.
We're going to be forever.
But I will say that kid's going to have to be. She's going to be fucked up for the rest of her life.
Well, I think
she let Father Christmas in, and shit went down.
I think she's probably dead.
Yeah.
he's a homicidal maniac. Right, story 2. Remind me what it was, because I've got here. It's a story within a story within a story.
So, story 2 was the guy leaving his wife and family for a younger model. In the car going to their new flat, car crashes, he wakes up and goes, wow.
Point of view shot.
And then you just have his POV all the way back to his wife, but there's a different name on the nameplate.
Yeah.
Opens the door, she screams.
Yeah.
You don't know.
He's a ghoul. But
you don't know that at that point.
Yeah.
So he goes to the house. She screams, runs into her new husband. He goes, "What the?" Goes off to the girlfriend who's back in the flat that he's just left and was empty of furniture. It's full of furniture. She's now blind.
Yeah.
And he's there going, "What's going on? What? It's me." He's going, "But you died 2 years ago." And then he looks at a mirror and he's this ghoul. And it's a good ghoul, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so.
You get a good...
I love the makeup.
Very quick
Just to let you know, that was called Reflection of Death.
There you are.
The first one was called An All Through the House.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't like his sleep acting, particularly.
So
he was asleep in the car.
Acting.
He was tired, so he let her drive.
Yeah.
And then he was next to her, just going.
Yeah.
No.
And you've reminded me that's why
You're quite good at sleep acting.
he's a very good actor with him. That's why it was a story within a story within a story, because
he had a dream.
He had a dream that it was going to happen. I mean, they kind of threw in quite a lot of things. They did, really.
But
it's like
they didn't. It's like it's punchy.
If you'd have woken up from that dream, what would you have done? First thing, stop the car.
Yeah.
Stop the fucking car.
No.
No.
you'd have just carried on, kind of going. That was a silly dream.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be dead. All right, number 3 was called Poetic Justice.
Yeah, this is the Peter Cushing one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought to begin with his performance was really hammy.
Yeah, it was.
But it kind of grew on me.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, the point
Felt really sorry for him.
where you do, because watching it from a modern audience's perspective, you just think creepy pedo.
Yeah.
Because he's this old kind of almost like a rag and bone man who fixes toys for the local kids since his wife of 190 years has passed away.
And he likes talking to the kids and telling them stories.
Completely 100% innocent.
Yeah.
You said something.
Hold on.
And you're absolutely true. That's the horrible
But
bit.
your brain just flicks to that. There's got to be something wrong there.
Yeah.
And that's the premise, that his neighbour wants to buy his house, knock it
Yeah.
down, and
Well, I
so he
don't
won't
even know
sell
if
up,
they
will
make
he?
that clear. He just doesn't want to see him when he leaves
Yeah.
his house.
No. Yeah, he
he does want to.
I
wants
really got
to
the feeling
get him out of the
that
house.
Peter Cushing was basically just ad-libbing a lot of the time.
Right. Okay. So, but that original character, Greendyke. Grimsdyke. Yeah. So apparently that character actually wasn't supposed to have any lines at all. It's just this old man, and obviously, very sweet, and then just gets set upon by this twat, and then the whole town turns upon him, and he breaks down. Now, Peter Cushing, obviously, quite a big biller, cost a lot of money for a film. But anyway, they approached him for a different part of this film, and Peter was actually looking at all the different 5 stories within it. He went, "I want to play this character. I'll actually take a massive pay cut as well, if that's all right. I really want to be part. I could do Grimdyke."
Who was he supposed to be?
I think he might have been.
The Maniac?
Oh, fucking hell! It might have been the Major. Maybe, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he said, "I really want this part," and it was basically because, and he said actually, in him playing Grimdyke, Grimsdyke, that he was playing himself. So you say he was playing it quite hammy, but actually Peter Cushing in real life was a little bit hammy.
Yeah.
He's playing it himself because he'd recently lost his wife. And he's there communicating to his wife on the Ouija board, isn't he, and all that.
That wasn't a picture of his wife, was it?
I probably don't think he went that far.
Yeah.
I don't think he went that far. But he said it was quite an honest, sincere performance.
And it was nice. And basically, the premise is that the neighbour opposite wants to destroy him, is struggling to find a genuine way, and then realises that his wife's death of his wife's anniversary is coming up, and he basically sends Valentine's cards from everybody, purportedly from everybody in town, basically saying, "Why don't you kill yourself?"
Yeah.
And he
what about?
And he does.
Something about this. Go down to the river, try not to frown, jump in, and we'll watch you.
Well, they don't say it, do they? They
No,
don't finish
exactly.
it. It's just like, oh, thank
It's
you.
heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking stuff.
But then he comes back.
Go on. Sorry.
This story, this is the one that has got I think for me is the creepiest moment in it, the creepiest scene, because obviously the baddie guy that sent all these horrible Valentine's letters, he's killed himself now, and I think it's the anniversary, isn't it? It's the next Valentine's. He's sat there in quite a dark sort of study room, and then you see the hand come out of the grave, so you've got a great graveyard shot, beautiful. There's old Pete's hand coming out of the earth, wonderful. But do you get any sort of exterior shots of him walking up to the house as a zombie? No. You just cut straight to the quiet, dingy sort of study room again, and then you just see
him in
a
the
dark
background,
corner of the room.
Yeah.
You don't see him at all. You just see a shadow.
No, you do.
And then just walking straight out of that shadow is Pete.
Yeah.
With
You
purpose.
see him at that point.
And I thought, fuck, that's creepy.
And that,
fuck.
and that, what you end up, because
That shot.
you're in this really truncated timeline.
Yeah.
They do away with all of those shots that are supposed to add tension. But actually, if you're really punchy with it, I thought it was great.
And by this point, and what I loved about it as well, so by this point, I managed to work out that, hold on a minute, they're not being, this isn't what's going to happen. This is obviously what's already happened. And then, because I was thinking, why the brooch? And it's like, oh yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is you remembering back to the first time you saw it.
No, this was this time.
This is the first time you've seen it?
No, I've seen it before, but I'd forgotten.
Oh, right.
I'd forgotten whether they'd been pulled there before they committed all these crimes. I was thinking, it doesn't make sense. It's like, oh yeah, they're already dead.
Gotcha.
Brilliant. All right, story 4.
Ralph the Debtor.
Is that what it's called? Hold on.
I think the character is Ralph.
It was called
He
Wish
is
You,
a debtor.
Wish You Were Here.
I've got to say, this is the funniest of all the stories for me.
Remind me, Ralph what happened in this?
He's a is this posh city banker.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
who
Which
basically
hasn't actually
has
done anything wrong.
no, he'd embezzled money and invested money that wasn't his,
This is what
and
Right.
the investments had failed.
played by a guy called Richard Green, and he's kind of like an amalgamation between like Vic Reeves and Matt Berry, and he's just like he's all in his suit and he's like, yeah, I grew up the hard way. Yeah, people got hurt on the way, but hey, hell to that, man. And he's like drinking his thing and he just does his thing. And I was just pissing myself.
It was the weakest by far. I thought.
Agree.
It wasn't weak though. It's the monkey's paw, isn't it?
And I love monkey's paw.
It's not that weak.
You opened on like a bit of exposition saying we seem to have a lot of antiques here, and the shop was filled to the brim. Every antique.
It's hilarious for comedy.
Yeah, but
number
it was like- it's
4
not
is
basically
bang
comedy.
on.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And but essentially, he goes back to his wife to say, "We've got to sell everything. It's a complete outrage, but we do have to sell everything."
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, that's terrible.
But
Look at this strange statue." we've got back
full
in
statue.
Hong Kong."
Have we never read the inscription before?
Make 3 wishes and
Well, it's like the monkey's paw.
And I do understand that the kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not the paradox, but the risk of the monkey's paw is whatever you wish for.
yeah.
It comes true, but not as you wish.
Yeah.
But she is really bad at that. Her saying, "I want him to be as he was immediately before the accident."
Yeah.
Can I go, why not make it like last week?
Yeah.
Well,
When was he?
But
When he
there's
was at
always,
his
there's always
happiest.
going to be a
yeah.
loophole. Yeah.
And it turns out he didn't die from the accident. He died
Yeah.
from a car crash,
But
heart attack.
attack.
So,
Also, what I would have done in that situation is then asked my friend who was sat next to me to make another wish. Using his 3 wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you used the one, didn't you? Can I have 1,000,000 wishes?
Yeah.
All right. What are the 3 wishes then? Let's work it out. World peace.
Oh, really?
Come
Hold
on.
on a minute. No, money. Ultimate power.
For just you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Ultimate
Then I
power.
thought I could dish it out then.
yeah, I think from a monkey paw perspective, they're going to just be sat there going, "No, he's going to fuck that up far better than we will."
But ultimate power, that would be putting like the power of the sun into you, Jupiter, and Saturn. You'll be just like a French.
I'd quite
fry.
like to be able to click my fingers and people disappear.
Fucking hell. That's wish 3 max.
All right, look. Story 5 was called Blind Alleys.
Yeah,
Oh,
Really
we
good one.
Loved this one.
really good.
Yeah. It was like an early version of Saw, I thought.
Well, absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah. That inventiveness these blind dudes
Yeah.
go up to. Again, a little bit of comedy. I love them at work
And a
with the
little
swords and
bit
the
of-
hammers.
Okay, we'll believe this.
We're willing to accept that these people are blind, even though clearly they're not.
Yes, although I thought the
One
main
of them
guy
had
was
like
very
sunglasses
convincing.
on like 24/7. He
But-
must have been.
But also, if they were constructing that,
Yeah,
you know,
They did a
I'm
good
just being
job.
honest. Yeah, they did a really good job. But also, you kick it apart.
yeah.
You know,
So the premise of the
Don't
story.
worry about that.
The premise of the story is it's effectively a home for the blind.
Yep.
All men.
Good
they
old
get
boys.
a new kind of commander-in-chief, commandant,
Major.
who is an ex-army major, and he basically ignores the men, turns the heating off, doesn't provide them any blankets, and he's there living the life of luxury while all the, I'm going to say inmates, they're not, all the
Residents.
residents,
Yeah.
while all the residents are suffering,
He's sat back there eating steak with his
Yeah.
Alsatian dog.
and they're eating gruel.
Yeah.
And one of the old guys dies, and then the other. That's the way to piss off blind people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I have to say as well, this was Columbo's favourite story.
Because there's a dog in
He
it.
loves anything with dogs in it, but he was
Yeah.
riveted at the end.
Was
But
he?
it was brilliant
Yeah.
because they kind of trap the dog
Yeah.
and then build a saw type assault course
Yeah.
for the major.
Yeah.
And the end of the assault course, after he's inched through the razor blade studded wall, is a door behind which is his very hungry dog.
Very, very hungry
Brilliant.
dog.
And so all he has to do is run back through the...
I will admit that whole last bit did take me by surprise because I thought the bit when they were passing around the plate and they were just like all the blind guys are passing around the plate and they're just putting a little bit of meat on it. So they've
Bacon.
got, at the end they've got a whole plate full of meat and I thought,
Bacon.
okay, the next shot is going to be
One of them just stuffing his face with the
well, no, they're just going to give that plate to the major who's sat there blind. They've blinded him or something like that, and that'll be the end. But no, it's that to lure the dog, and then you got this whole crazy
that would have been
setup.
that would be
How long
Yeah.
between his last feed and eating you would it take Columbo?
About 10 minutes.
What bit would he eat first? Your nuts?
I don't know.
Your nose?
God, I don't know.
It'd be your face, wouldn't it?
I don't really think about it. And bearing in mind, he very often doesn't eat his breakfast. If he knows he's going out for the day, he'll leave his breakfast, and then when he gets back at 4 o'clock, he has his breakfast, and then expects dinner at 5. And he's really angry if he doesn't get it at 5. You know, it's like, so he likes to double dose, Columbo. And they're just right flat out. Anyway, we're digressing. It was before they got the colour of blood right.
Yeah. It was very,
Yeah. What do we think about the effects, though, in general?
Some of them I thought were really good.
Yeah.
I think they did a sterling
Yeah,
job.
they did.
There wasn't too much, and I think the quality of the stories
Yeah.
won that.
Agreed.
And I thought, like Joan Collins was really convinced. Like when they all wander off to their doom.
Yeah.
Because the premise at the end is that actually they're already dead.
Oh, bad shot when you see the first man falling into hell.
Yeah,
Well, no, that's your Dick Jones shot.
Yeah, it
You've got
is.
to love a
Yeah.
Dick Jones shot.
Yeah.
That's great.
RoboCop.
Yeah.
RoboCop,
But the thing is, they've died without remorse of their actions.
Well, yeah, but I would have just stayed with the monk
Yeah.
and chilled out, because if that's eternity out there, I just might as well just chill out with the monk for a bit and annoy him until he pushes me out.
Yeah. I thought the intestines looked quite good.
Intestine were great because, he was brought back from the dead, but he's full of embalmment and he's in huge pain. She has to chop him up with a sword.
And I've
Yeah,
put
but that's
here
the
good
recipe.
use of not carrots, carols for the music. Yeah.
Good use of carols.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
All right, look, I think we should wrap it up.
A quick one.
Go on.
Yeah. So a quick one. I think we just touched on it earlier on. So King and Stephen King and George A. Romero really, really loved this film, and they sat down. They said, "Right, we're going to make a remake." They started doing it, and it actually transposed to be the Creep Show. So
Right.
it was its own independent kind of thing.
So, do you think it stands up today?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
definitely.
I think it's good fun. I think
Yeah.
kids could watch it and learn
agree, yeah.
countless things about.
Well,
treating
this is
blind
it. It
people
is a
well.
moral. So it's I thought it was good. Right, anyone got any memorable lines? I've got one. You should all be in bed by then. After all, there is no point.
Well, that sounds about right.
Oh no! All right.
No, there's no point.
No, let me say it. Because I remember who says it now. I was trying to remember who said it. So it's a major in Blind Alley. You should all be in bed by then. After all, there's no point in staying up. You can't see anything.
Oh, I've actually got that. Yeah, I've made that note as well. And there was also when the guy's in the second story when he's he's talking to the woman he's going to live with, and he's saying, "Oh, we've both sacrificed a lot, but it'll be worth it, won't it?" And it was just this lack of conviction in that particular move.
Brilliant. All right, let's score it, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I've done my scores.
Okay.
All right, so performances. Me, 7. Wyndham.
6.
7.
Effects. Wyndham.
6.
6.
6. Laurie, plot.
7. Yeah, that's a 6 really, but 7.
8.
7.
Wyndham. Rewatch factor.
Oh, 6.
6.
7. Laurie, direction.
6.
6.
6.
Me, cinematography. 5.
4.
5.
Wyndham. Sound and music.
Sound of music 6.
Laurie.
5.
4. Laurie, originality.
It's got its own little beautiful charm, isn't it? I'm gonna go 7. Let's go back up there.
8.
8.
Wyndham, enjoyability.
Enjoyability 8.
It's thoroughly digestible, like spaghetti. 7.
9. And life-changing past or present, 5. Because I don't really understand this one. We should think about changing it. maybe.
0 for me.
No, it works. Life-changing
All right,
past
right.
or present. So how much has it sort of affected you? If it's the first time you've ever seen it?
We understand
When
it.
you first saw it,
You
did it
explain
change
it
your life?
every week. Go on, what?
Yeah, okay. 5.
Right, let's add up those scores.
You're looking pained there, James.
Oh, you made me lose count. Right, got mine. Right, Wyndham, what have we got?
57.
Laurie.
61.
And 65 for me, which gives it a total of...
Portmanteau.
Gives it a total of 183, so 61.
61%. Right, so let's see where it goes on our leaderboard, shall we?
Can I crack open the lighthouse window?
Yeah, if you want.
Thanks.
What he doesn't realise is lighthouse windows don't actually open.
Yeah.
Stuck! Right, 61. It puts it at number 18. So
Is that the overall?
Oh, hold on a minute. No,
No,
So-
the overall was still important, I feel.
Yeah. So
That window won't
overall
open.
it's
Sorry, guys.
18. But yeah, so
And in this
yes,
year,
I think that's important
it
as well.
comes in at number 4.
We should have done that one first.
4 out of
There it is.
5.
so far.
So 61. Oh no, it doesn't. It comes in. So I've got Dawn of the Dead at 60.6.
Piss off, this is better
Dawn of the Dead
Dawn
at
of the Dead.
61.6.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'm going with Wyndham's notes. He's far...
Well, it's written
he's
down
more
here, I'm afraid.
professional.
All right. Well, I will check on that. But for now, it's above Blood and Satan's Claw.
It
Right?
is above Blood on Satan's Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
All
That's
right.
wrong, though. But
So let's move on. Our next choice.
I'll be really quick.
Yeah. So what happens is I say what the choice is, and then I say let's play a clip. At which point we can have a break.
Okay.
Dick. We do it every time we get to this point. You say the same thing.
What's wrong with me? An addiction or something? What's wrong with me?
Right. So the next film was Laurie.
We're going to call it Black Sabbath. But
We
actually,
are.
the version, am I correct, guys? It was basically the Three Faces of Fear, which is the Italian original
Do you know the Italian
version.
Do you know the name of it in Italian?
How do I pronounce it? Il trio flesciacios.
Did you just make all of that up?
Yeah, I totally did.
All right.
I tre volte delle paure.
Let's have a clip.
Do you believe in ghosts?
This is the night when fear and horror walk hand in hand.
This is Black Sabbath.
Starring the incomparable Boris Karloff, the personable Mark Damon, and lush and lovely women, even though one is from the netherworld, a vampire, a Vurdalak. Black Sabbath, as ancient as superstition, as modern as the telephone.
How nice you look with that towel around you. You always did have a beautiful body. Beautiful. A body to drive someone crazy.
Who are you? Who?
Black Sabbath.
All right, so we're back. So let me tell you a little bit about Black Sabbath.
The band.
It was released in 1963. Director Mario Bava. Screenplay by Anton Chekhov.
Did you see that on the beginning of the copy that Laurie lent me?
Yeah.
They it's not by Anton Chekhov.
No, I've got
obviously.
3 names here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like kind of made up.
Alexei
him, aren't they?
Tolstoy. Oh.
Wait, him and people, yeah, but
Yeah.
the names that they actually credited to are Hokum.
All right,
Hokum.
okay, forget that then. So it's Marcello Fondato. Anyway.
Some Italian dudes.
Yeah.
They're great.
Guy de
music's,
Maupassant.
music's by Roberto Nicolosi. And its box office, it made 103.5 million.
And so it should have had.
Didn't win an Oscar, didn't win a BAFTA, and it didn't win...
It made £103 million
Apparently so. 103.5.
in 1963.
I thought it came out in 1962. Okay, fine.
Anyway, that's the information I got.
Brilliant. Well,
No sequels or
well
spin-offs.
done then.
Notable actors. Well, let's obviously Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the big daddy.
I don't really want to go through everybody else unless you've got any. Well,
I think the lady in the first...
Michelle
Rosie.
Mercier. Rosie. Michelle Mercier.
Yeah, I think she's worth a mention.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so first memories. So look, I watched this with Laurie a couple of years ago. I remember very vividly you getting excited and me watching it, and I liked it very much.
Yeah. And when I showed it to you, I'd only seen it like probably a couple of months before.
Okay.
And Mario Bava, I don't know why, I don't know how, he kind of eluded me. I was already watching like Argento and a lot of the Italian sort of giallo kind of guys and stuff. But anyway, so got into Mario Bava. I think I watched the girl who knew too much. I believe that's what it's called. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Then Kill Baby Kill, and Kill Baby Kill kind of blew me away. I was like, this is beautiful. This is spectacular. And then the next film that I put in was Black Sabbath, but obviously is the original Italian version, The Three Faces of Fear. And it's just excellent.
Wyndham?
Excellent, wonderful film.
So again, not one I'd seen before, and I watched this after Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
So I was in a very positive mindset from Tales from the Crypt. Watched this, really enjoyed it.
Yes, he did.
Good stuff. All
Really
right.
good.
So, Laurie, I forgot to ask you last time.
Yeah, go on.
Feel a bit bad. Give us a synopsis.
Okay. You can see it now. You're in a psychedelic, weird quagmire. You're on a planet that's red. Who's that standing over there? Fuck me. It's Boris Karloff. Come closer, he says, in Spanish subtitles.
Italian?
Italian. And that's actually not subtitles, is it?
No,
that's English. That's English
Spanish
subtitles.
subtitles in Spain.
But he says, come closer. Fear, illusion,
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
You're telling the whole
And then you
story
go into
again.
3 stories that
Yeah.
essentially arc. So Bava's original conception of this film would be the human condition and fear. He wanted to make a film about, since the dawn of man, what has been men's fear. And the production company said, Mario, I like your idea, but can you make it a little bit more sort of traditional kind of horror? And he went, oh, right then. And he kind of worked it out and figured it out. So you got the first film about sort of modern technology,
The telephone.
paranoia kind of stuff. Right. The second film is like that sort of family breakdown because of...
The Vourdelac.
The Vourdelac. He makes certain decisions and it's fucked up the whole family. And then the last one is this sort of moralic tale about... I shouldn't do this, but I've done it, and now I'm riddled with guilt. Oh, shit.
Drop of water.
Wow.
Drop of water.
That's pretty impressive.
And actually, I think maybe you should do these on this kind of film, because I would have struggled with that. I'd have said, oh, there isn't really.
Yeah.
It's
And then to
pretty-
end off, oh my God, there's Boris. He's on a horse. What the fuck? What's going on here?
That was brilliant.
And that's when you stand on the table and you shoot your gun in the sky going... like that.
All right, so let's start with the telephone. I thought it was very creepy, atmospheric. Before mobile phones, don't know why I put that in. Obviously.
Was it before mobile phones, was it?
Oh, that was it. Well, no, I've got a new feature.
Yeah,
not
go
a
on.
feature, a new thing. Plot points.
Right.
I made a symbol. It looks like that. You can't see it on, but it looks like that.
It looks like the Illuminati with...
Triangle with 2 P's in it.
Yeah. Plot point.
Okay.
All right. So it's before mobile phones.
Yes.
Where's the man phoning from? And then I think I realised that actually scratch that.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Okay, what's the
spoil
synopsis of this?
No. It is a plot point because when the person on the phone is saying, "I can see you touching your leg. I can see you doing this." How the hell did they know that?
Well, so she does talk about that. So
Okay.
the premise is that Rosie, a bit of a hot Italian young lady.
Exactly. And in this version, so again, I'm just going to quickly point out. So the version of Black Sabbath was the European release, and the Europeans
Really delicate-minded, weren't they? They got quite upset by it all.
Yeah, and but so much so that actually when I say the European release, it's more the American release. They literally kind of pretty much butchered it, and the telephone, the first story, was probably the most corrupted film. So in this version, you have Rosie, and it kind of alludes to the fact she's probably a high-class cool girl, something like that. And the malevolent voice on the end of the phone,
Frank,
is Frank, and it's probably her pimp. However, so in the American version, they sort of guised it as that she was, I think she was like a secretary or something like that, and Frank was her ex-lover. Because she's very heterosexual. There's no way she could be turning her eye to a lady's ankle, which again is something part of this thing.
Well, how did they get over that? Because
they just chopped it out.
Right.
They chopped out the whole bit that we'll probably come on to a little bit.
So go on. So how did she know what she was doing?
So she does say that
he's looking through the window.
You're led to believe because at some point there's a pair of eyes outside the window.
Yeah.
But when Rosie phones Mary and gets Mary over, who is, we are under no illusion, an ex-lover.
Yeah.
Turns out she's putting the voice on.
Right. So, but when Rosie says to her, but he knew I was in my robe, he knew I was...
Yeah.
She said, oh no, he just knows that's what you're like. So she's guessing.
Right. Well,
that is my understanding.
Well.
She did guess very well.
All right. I thought the three stories were really all about people returning.
Okay.
They all do return.
They do return. Yeah, they do return.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I just thought two of these, the two kind of bookending stories of this, are so beautifully set.
Yes.
They're really theatrical, and you could almost imagine yourself in a theatre looking up at the stage, and it could just be happening on stage.
Yeah.
Really nicely and really brilliantly self-contained.
Great. Yeah, this would be great.
Yeah, good use of colour.
The music is brilliant because it's Italian. There's that kind of like cool jazz going on.
So the telephone, you got a very, very brilliant 60s sort of jazz soundtrack to it, haven't you?
Yeah.
And then,
Anyway, so the premise is that Frank has broken out from prison and is on the phone kind of going, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And it then transpires that it's actually her ex-lover who's pretending to be Frank. She calls her up, says, come round, Frank's going to come and get me, help me.
Keep me
she
company.
goes round, and while Rosie's sleeping, she writes a confession letter saying, I'm really sorry, I still really dig you, I wanted to see you, this was the only way I could think of it, please don't hate me, isn't it great that I still love you?
Yeah.
And as she's writing that letter, the handle of the apartment turns, and a man starts coming in, and it turns out that Frank has escaped, and he is coming to kill him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't notice. Does he notice that it's not Rosie?
Yeah. I think so.
Because
he blames... Oh, no. Because when he comes in, he says, always somewhere you shouldn't be. Kills her, and then Rosie stabs him in the chest.
Yeah.
I loved it. Did you like this story?
I did, yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those... Okay, voice box kind of... A woman with a silk scarf over a phone mouthpiece.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she's really going to sound...
And it wasn't her voice, was it?
No.
But
she's like talking in Italian, so like Rosie can only see the subtitles to understand what she says. It's all fine. So back to the kind of that sort of butchering, as it were. So the Frank person, and they've chopped out the whole lesbian stuff. So the Frank was actually, they did a supernatural kind of version. So when she opens, like there's a letter that sort of writes itself as she opens it. So Frank is a proper supernatural thing.
Right. That's the American version.
In that version. So it's very, very, very different. But interestingly, what you said about kind of the theme that you felt across these three films was they're returning.
Yeah.
And again, back to Mario Bava's kind of original idea of this film. It was about someone, alone in a room, and their fears, real horror, actually comes from within. So they're sort of second guessing themselves, or this, that, and the other, and kind of their code of conduct or whatever. So that's kind of the theme that sits across all of these.
Okay. All right. So story 2, which I thought personally was the weakest.
100%. Completely agree.
It was too long, too bloated.
Completely agree. And I think my feeling is it's because it's Boris Karloff. I'm not blaming Karloff. I'm not blaming Karloff. I just think probably for all the reasons that Peter Cushing is expensive in the other one, they kind of go, well, let's give him a bigger story. The biggest problem for me, though, is that it breaks away from the perfect kind of contained, brilliant story to the first and the third one.
Yeah.
I agree. It's the weakest and it's too long.
If I'd managed to open up that window, turns out apparently, I've just Googled it, you can't open windows in lighthouses. I would have jumped out of it. Right.
Do you disagree?
So the Vurlook. So we now want to the Vurlook.
Yeah.
I think
Very League of Gentlemen, I thought.
behind Salem's Lot is probably one of the greatest vampire films
How are you
ever
getting along
made.
with your reading of the book?
I'm loving reading
How
Salem's
far-
Lot.
you've not finished
It's
it yet, then?
wonderful. I'm deliberately not reading it. So Susan, she's managed to get out of the Marsden house. Oh no, she hasn't. No. So her and Mark have gone into the Marsden house. Mark's come out now. He's managed to get out of there because he did the whole Houdini kind of thing, relaxing his muscles, amazing. But Barlow was down in the cellar. Come here, boy. I admire
So you're near the end.
But I don't want to finish it. It's like it's getting. I fucking love Salem's Lot so much, and this I've gone in more than high definition. It's wonderful.
So
we've all got-
defend the second one. 'Cause
Okay,
I didn't like
okay.
it. I was bored with it.
Right, you mentioned about the colour. You mentioned about sort of the feel, the atmosphere of this film. So okay, yeah, the second film opens up much further. Because you have, obviously much wider exterior scenes. It's a
Starts
larger...
on a moor type thing, river next to a river.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But the beauty of kind of this segment of the film is just it's stunning. The exteriors, when you're on a set, so it's an exterior, but you're actually kind of on a studio, as it were, is wonderful. So, like, if you look at like the old Italian sort of giallo books and all that, you've got these wonderful, beautiful paintings, that 70s kind of horror painting, vivid colours and all that kind of stuff. So this segment of the film, it's just so rich and beautiful with those beautiful set designs. There's almost like a 3D quality that Bava's using with the mist and the tree right up in the front of the shot, the backdrop. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. But then back to that element of why I think this Behind Salem's Lot is probably one of the best vampire films ever made, because it's really that...
How are you getting on with reading Salem's Lot?
Shut up! Don't spin me off, bastard! It's basically, so, you've got... what's the name of the main guy? What's Boris's character's name? Grocco, yeah.
Gorka.
So, you kind of get the feeling that probably as a father, as that, archetype of the family, he probably had a little bit of a heavy hand, but he loved his family. So anyway, he's gone away, and the premise is if the clock strikes, I think 12 or something like that.
He's
away the following day.
This is a real plot point as well, because they bang on about the fact that he's got to come back before
within 5 days.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
He comes
He's
back.
late. He's
Probably about 5 minutes late.
But we know the
mean,
rules.
but?
We all know the rules. He wasn't back in time.
No.
Yet
Wait.
they all just let him in.
Wait, they go back to this guy. He might have had a hard hand, but they love him. He loves them, right? He's 5 minutes late.
Yeah, but we know the rules.
They even say, they kind of go, it's him, yeah. What's on? Oh, yeah, that's just struck 12.
Yeah.
Let's forget that. Oh, look, the dogs are going crazy. Kill the dog. Go on.
Yeah, go and kill the dog.
Yeah,
that's
so
fucking
like
brutal.
that.
But anyway, so basically, it's the vampire thing again. I'm desperately going to get this out. It's that breakdown of the family, the way the family gets broken down, and that's what vampires are all about. It's someone you love them so dearly, you will allow them across the threshold. So you're applying sense and reason to all this stuff. Vampires can do a little bit of hoo-ha that will allow you and encourage you to allow them across the threshold. They love this man.
But they should have
He was
banged on about
5
it.
minutes late.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
it's still late.
Carlos' performance is fucking spot on.
He's got the eyes for it.
Fucking love it. There are just spectacular moments in this film as well. There's a great bit where he goes into the guy's room and he's just above his bed, and then he wakes up.
And
the
he's
guy
outside
wakes
the
up in his
window.
bed and then just looks over the window. Pow!
Am I
tingles,
right in
chill.
saying this was his last film?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
getting that quite a bit, aren't we? With someone else's last film the other day.
Yes, Edward Scissorhands. It was
Yeah.
Price.
Vincent Price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, look. I think let's go on.
So- It was all right.
No.
It was.
All right, well-
I have to say, you don't see it before he goes away for 5 days. Sure,
Yeah.
but fucking hell. I mean, he's had a hard life, isn't he? If he comes back and they're kind of going, nah, I get your point. It's all about love and.
I thought from him there was a bit too much acting.
No.
Yeah. It was a little bit. Yeah, there was.
No.
All right. First,
One thing again, just going back to the American version of Black Sabbath. So Boris Karloff put a lot of effort in to learn the English. So his actual performance is all in English. So his introduction is in English, and his performance in the Royale is in English.
Yeah.
And so that is a massive attribute for that version, and I've never seen it, and I would love to watch that, because apparently the bit when he, he's come back and he has the kid on his lap,
well, no one's stopping
and
it.
he confesses that I'm very hungry.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's really, really, creepy
Hungry.
and chilly as hell.
Well, watch
but
it,
the wonderful moments of I think the kid bit is probably
At the door.
when she looks out
When
the
he's coming
window,
back.
he looks out the window, and says,
Yeah.
I'm cold, and then you see him at the door. Yeah,
It was a little bit put me in mind of Pet Cemetery as well, with the return of Gage.
Yes.
the kid in
yeah,
Pet Cemetery.
but massively Salem's Lot. So I can't remember. It's not Danny
So
Glick.
for the
but-
longest time, I decided that if I ever had a son, I was going to call him Gage, because after Pet Cemetery.
Is Gage a name?
This is stupid.
Or just
name, isn't it? I'm thinking
It's a way of
Gage.
measuring, isn't it?
It is. It's a measurement.
And then my second one was what was it? Who's the one from Children of the Corn? Malachi.
Oh, that's a name and a
It's all
half.
based
That
on horror
is,
films.
that is a
and
name and a half.
last comment for me on this.
Yeah.
The lighting was all over the shop.
Yeah.
The lighting was fucking spectacular.
No, but the kind of
You're not
nighttime.
taking an objective view, Laurie.
Yeah, no, this is one of your blind spots.
Your
I think.
blind spot.
No.
It's your RoboCop.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
This
your
is your
RoboCop.
Right, third story.
No. And one last thing, why the Volok is so good as
The what?
well.
The Volok.
For fuck's sake, is so good. The performance of this whole entire film, from beginning to end, is Evan's mum. When so Evan's come back, I'm so
Yeah,
cold,
she
I'm
was
so
good.
cold, and she can't. She's stabbed her husband because of this
Yeah.
love and this pull. And when they go out to the woods, and obviously Grandad's done over the son, that sort of
We
breaking
should never
down.
let him in, obviously.
Yeah.
And anyway, they'd have had more room in the house.
It's a
Yeah.
masterpiece. I'm sorry.
Right,
I'm
third
sorry, boys.
story. I've written it down 3 times.
Drop
the
of water?
Yeah. No, the woman's face. The dead, when you see
But you
the
can't
dead
go
woman's
straight
face.
to that.
Well, it's for me. That's
So
like,
the
I
thing,
love that bit.
the thing for me though is the build up to them is. I
Okay,
think it
give us
starts
the
at
premise
all
of
three
that-
of them.
this
So the
story.
premise of this one is there's a woman in her house getting ready for bed and kind of having the last drink and getting warm, and then the phone rings and she gets called out and no, it can't wait, and she goes out. She's a nurse. You find out.
I thought she was a hooker.
Yeah, so did I.
That's because the neon light outside.
Yeah.
Well,
she
no, and
goes.
also she looked a bit
Saucy.
used. But she did, didn't
She
she?
looked a bit tired. Yeah.
She's a nurse, though, isn't she?
But she
Yeah.
So she goes to this grand house, and the lady of the house has died, and she needs to be prepared for the undertakers the following day, and the housekeeper won't do it. And anyway, she kind of helps prepare the body. She's not getting paid. She hasn't got any money, so the corpse has a sapphire ring on, and she takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind
it
of,
won't
it
come
kind
off.
of, it kind of seduces her, doesn't it? in
Yeah,
a way?
but it won't come off. And as she pulls it off, she knocks a glass over, and the water starts dripping. And then when she goes home,
And that
Missed
water
that
does
bit.
not
yeah,
stop
that water
dripping.
doesn't stop.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and that follows her. So when she
That's
goes
good.
home, the water follows her home. A fly that follows her home.
Yeah,
and
and
then
the fly on the finger.
yeah,
Just go, can I keep coming back to this, obviously? But the dead woman's makeup. There's a bit in The League of Gentlemen where I don't know what happened, but someone's been murdered, and
Yeah.
they go, "We're going to show you the body, but don't worry, they died peacefully." They put it back, and it's like this grimace, which is basically that woman's face.
yeah.
I'm sure that's what
She
it's
the model or the actress or whoever
Yeah.
looks a lot like Helena Bonham Carter.
She has a certain zephyr over
Yes.
Carter. You're
That-
absolutely
that-
right.
What that dead woman's makeup face, dead face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a mask?
There's.
At times,
I
definitely.
haven't actually looked into this because the kind of the way they animate that body,
Yeah.
even the hands, they kind of use it as a doll, don't they? It's stiff, it's
Yeah.
rigid,
Yeah.
and the face has got this rigidity about it that it's not actually an actor. It's kind of like a prosthetic or a mask or something like that. So I don't know, but
Yeah,
it looks
very
that
much
good.
like a mask.
I think it looks that good that maybe it is someone that's
Yeah.
just covered in PVA
Yeah,
glue.
yeah. It is really. It's a really good,
Fucking-
really good story.
Fucking good.
And just the fact that, it's all kind of like when she goes to this woman's house, you kind of have, there's cats everywhere. And you kind of go, okay, she's a mad cat lady. And then she knocks a glass over and you kind of get this drip into a metal tray.
Yeah.
She's a
And there's
medium.
a fly. Oh, of
Yeah,
course she
She's
is.
a medium.
Yeah.
And there's a fly that lands on the woman's ring finger when she takes the ring off, and all of these things come back to the nurse when she's back at her house, and eventually she opens the door, and the dead body is there in her sleeping gear. The thing for me, if that ever happens, don't take your eyes off them, because as soon as you look away, they fucking move, and then you don't know where they
Wasn't there
are.
a bit where she dropped the nightdress and she was there or something? Or I think about something completely different.
That's the thing. That's with a dog. You probably maybe trick a dog. And you jump through.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I love this circular
Cyclical?
That's it, of this story.
Yeah.
So right at the end,
So
someone else is being seduced by the ring.
Yeah, because you're
don't
not
see it
quite
that
sure whether she's a witch, whether she was cursed, whether the ring was cursed,
Yeah.
or whether it's all kind
Yeah.
of intertwined into
Yeah.
one.
Lovely. All right, so does it stand up today
Yeah.
as a film?
Fuck yeah! It's an absolute freaking horror
All right, well,
masterpiece,
with you. No one's
including
disagreeing with you.
massively including the middle story.
Oh, I'm disagreeing with
No,
that.
disagree with that.
Bell
But
ends.
the thing for me, the thing
I'm gonna mark it down and carry on.
thing I absolutely loved about certainly the two, and this isn't me having to go at Verdelac, but the two the
Verdelac,
start
brilliant.
and the last story, they're just so theatrical, and there's like a whole, they're what, 20 minutes? No, not quite. So the first and the last one are about 15, 20 minutes.
Perfect time.
And then the middle one is longer.
Too long.
But the first 5, it almost feels
You're
like the first.
deliberately doing this to
It
me.
almost feels like the first 5 minutes of the first and the last one. There's no dialogue. It's just action. The women going about their lives. It is brilliant.
I implore anyone that's managed to suffer this podcast thus far.
Hold on a minute.
and
Don't criticize the
hasn't watched the
It's not why don't you don't tell
Black
turn it
Sabbath.
off.
Please go and watch it and
Well,
let
that's
us
the
know if
point.
you like the
Hopefully
middle
people will watch
story.
them.
Yeah, it's good.
That's the whole point of the podcast.
Yeah, and if you agree with Laurie,
Sorry. Yeah, all right, I'll calm down.
All
now.
right. Any memorable lines? No, I didn't get any.
I like that one.
yeah, I do quite like the way when in Verdelac,
Yeah.
where the counters are going, run away with me. I've known you for 2 hours. And when we run away, let's hide in this abandoned, creepy convent. Nothing can go wrong here.
Oh, brilliant. All right, let's go it. Laurie, you can start. Performances.
8,
6.
5,
Effect. 6.
6,
9,
Plot. With
4,
8,
8. Rewatch factor. Laurie.
8,
7.
4,
Direction. Wyndham.
7,
8,
7. Cinematography. Laurie.
9.
8.
5.
Sound of music.
I feel like I've been overly harsh there. I'm going to make that a 7.
Okay. Sound of music. 8.
8.
Wasn't
8.
your turn, but never mind. Originality. Wyndham.
Originality 7.
7.
7. Enjoyability. Laurie.
8.
8.
7.
And life-changing past and present. 5.
0.
8.
Do you know, we've quite similar scorings.
No, they're not.
He's all 8s and 9s.
All right, well, let's have a look.
We've said that before and we've been
Yeah.
wildly different.
Right. Wyndham.
55.
Laurie.
Wait a minute.
Okay, mine was 70.
Punchy.
That's high.
Oh, shit, that's going to be tricky. 81.
Wow. Jesus. Okay, so what's that total?
206. Giving us 68.6 recurring.
68.6, which puts it in equal top place with The Omen.
It's better than The Omen, by the way, people.
Stop criticising the scores. And also, and if we're looking at this, it puts it. Oh, did it say 68.8?
68.6.
Yeah, 68.6. It puts it just below Salem's Lot.
Oh!
And just above American
happy.
Werewolf in London and Watch It Down.
Oh, yeah.
You're happy with that?
Well done, boys.
I think that's a good.
I think that's
Genuinely
pretty good.
thoroughly enjoyed both of them.
I had to pick up the slack, though. I had to pick up the slack there, boy.
Okay, so just before we choose what we're doing for next month, just to explain, we add a new topic to the leaderboard every month.
To the leaderboard?
No, to
Ball Bag of Wonder.
my script is wrong. To the Ball Bag of Wonder. So if anybody out there has a suggestion for a topic, just send them to us and we'll add them to the list. They may never ever come up.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind. It might take the rest of our lives.
They couldn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Well, 1 in 90.
Oh.
Exactly. All right, so whose turn is it to choose?
I think it's one of you two.
Is it me?
I just chose.
I think it's McTash then.
All right, so
Get in a rummaging.
Yeah, man. Okay.
shaking my bag of balls.
I'm going deep, boys. I'm going deep.
I've been adapting the script, so I've got boxes to put things in at the moment, which is why things seem so much more organised this
It
month.
wouldn't be right.
Do they seem more organised this month?
Do it in my head.
Ready?
Right.
While
what
he's
you
doing that, I'm just going to remind people of the rules. So each person recommends 2 films for the category.
Yep.
The chooser then picks 2 films.
Of the 4?
Yes.
Okay.
And then each person gets to mark the film out of 100. But we know that. We'll get into a bit more
10
detail.
correct.
Anyway, sorry. Laurie, go.
12.
12. Oh, 1992.
1992.
You're disappointed, I can tell already. You don't like the years, do you? But don't worry, they're phasing out.
Yeah, and don't worry, that me and James always pick great movies for you.
Brilliant movies. Oh, do you know what might be in 1992?
Look how upset he looks.
I've got a feeling it might be... Oh, let's have a look.
Lighthouse.
Listen, you may be disappointed, but I think 92 turned out to be a really good year. Beethoven, Fern Gully, shitloads of good quality there.
Yeah.
All right, so
Critters 4.
Critters 4.
That's our remake.
Right, Wyndham, give us your first choice.
Okay, my first choice.
Yes. And I'm going to... Actually, I would like to do it this way. I'd like to do
No.
William 1.
No,
And then I would like to go to you.
You're not the presenter.
I'm the chooser.
Wyndham, first choice.
I am going to go for the seminal Peter Jackson's
Yeah.
Brain Dead.
Brain Dead. Well done.
Okay. I am going to go with the little-known cult classic, Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me.
Fuck a duck. Yeah.
Oh, look at his face.
I'm happier now.
And now I'm going to go a little bit off piece because I know you like this kind of thing. I am going to, my second one, I'm going to embrace the sci-fi within our
Yes,
remit.
which is definitely something we need, don't we?
And I'm going to go for Tetsuo, the Body Hammer.
Tetsuo!
The sci-fi sequel to Shinya Tsukamoto is cinematic punk rock, or more appropriately heavy metal, arriving 3 million. Body Hammer is both a remake and a follow-up to that film. It's about an ordinary businessman whose chance encounter with a vicious gang sees him gradually transforming into a gigantic, hideous metal superbeing.
I have seen it.
And my second choice is one of my favourite films of all time,
Yeah.
The Candyman.
Oh, guys. So, I think we're all very conscious that, you know, we've probably been a little bit heavy on the horror thing for a while. And so we're kind of keen to bring in some sort of sci-fi or maybe sort of more culty stuff. So with that, I'm going to choose Brain Dead and the Candyman.
Are you really?
Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm not an idiot. It's fine.
wow.
Twin Peaks is amazing. Oh, whoa. No, I've said it now.
Ah, wow. I
Brain Dead
didn't
and the
think you were
Candyman.
going to choose those at all.
Yeah. The Candyman is definitely an unsung film. I think it deserves a lot more credit than it actually gets. And Braindead is just an absolute feast of treats. So it's
think next month's going to be a right treat.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, good stuff. Excited to see you. Happy, Laurie.
Yeah, it's alright.
So, what do I usually say at the end?
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
I haven't got a sign-off thing. Like,
Not
the
like you
Lighthouse
you're
is
not
closed.
No.
Laurie, fix the telly and undo your belt. You've been saying that a lot lately.
So we're going to shut up the Lighthouse for the night.
Well,
No, it sounds too much like the Pink Windmill.
Does it?
And the light's got to go all night, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
We have to keep the light on. That's really
Don't
important.
You fuckers are stuck
I
up
turn
in
it
your
off.
hammocks.
Well, I turn it off when you go to sleep.
Do you?
Yeah, because I can't sleep with a big light beaming into the room. So I just turn it off.
The fuck? Is that why when I go looking for movies, I'm just finding ships and shit?
Right, see you all next time. I've been James.
I've been Wyndham.
I've been Laurie.
Lighthouse.
Alright, bonus feature.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about Velvet Buzzsaw, which is an original Netflix film.
Yes.
Indeed, it is,
It's one of those original Netflix things, isn't it?
Alright, so
Go
what
on.
do we think? First reactions.
Okay, first reactions was it popped up on my feed. I was like, oh, this looks quite interesting. Oh, this looks quite high
Did you
budget.
like it?
Quite slick. So you got Jake Gyllenhaal in there.
Yeah.
You've got, oh, shit.
Rene Russo.
Yeah.
Zoe Ashton.
It's all-star cast, isn't
Tom
it?
Sturridge.
Yep, all-star
Collette.
cast. All-star cast. And then you get
John
in the trailer.
Malkovich.
You
John
got John
Malkovich.
Malkovich in there. Yeah.
David Diggs.
Yeah. And you kind of get the feeling, particularly when you see John Malkovich, so, oh, this is going to be quite intelligent.
Yeah.
This is going to be quite good. Anyway, interesting concept. Okay, so what is that concept? As much as the trailer even sort of presumed. It's basically art being able to reach out and kill people. And I thought, no, it must be much more highbrow than that. And you're watching it, and this is what my first impression was. Okay, so you've got this sort of unpresuming girl that's trying to make it in the art world. And the art world is a very strange, bizarre kind of critical, hierarchical,
Cutthroat.
yeah, kind of world, its own kind of bubble, as it were. And the critic is kind of everything. The word of mouth is kind of everything. Everyone's trying to look for something original. So anyway, this unassuming girl, part of this trying to make a name for herself, bumps into by someone dying in her apartment block. She chances upon the fact that this guy is a prolific artist, albeit in his own space, but he's made fucking shitloads of art, and he was desperately trying to destroy it all, but he had a heart attack, whatever it was, before he managed to do all that. And why was he trying to destroy it? Simply because his art is dangerous and it can essentially kill people. It's living. It's made with his own blood. He is an occultist. He is this monster, as it effectively
so
was.
I don't know why he was trying to kill it, because he kept popping up in the papers,
Exactly.
didn't he? So,
there's plenty of holes.
all right, did you like it, Wyndham?
So I really like the premise.
Yeah.
Really like the cast.
Yeah.
I don't think it delivers.
No, I agree. I
think it falls short of what I wanted it to be.
It could have been so much better. There were some really nice bits. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was a bit miscast, really.
He was fucking brilliant in it.
He was brilliant in it, but I just don't think it was a strong enough vehicle for him, who is always faultless.
It was quite fun. He did that line when he went, when he goes in to see the girl and she's been sleeping with the other art guy, and he goes, "The admiration I have for your work has completely evaporated."
I think he's absolutely brilliant in this, and
I
it's a wonderful sort of satire, because I should imagine the kind of people that are making this film probably do have a view and a sort of little peek into that sort of art world. And like I say, when I first even saw the trailer, I thought this film was going to be a little bit more sort of highbrow. So I was actually quite surprised when you first see that moment where the painting starts moving its eyes and starts bleeding and starts coming on fire. And it's like, wait a minute, this is actually just going to do the horror thing, and it actually just does the horror thing. Albeit there are undertones of more headier stuff, because you have Malkovich character. All they're trying to do as artists is they're trying to find truth, man. They're trying to find truth, and these paintings have that truth.
Do you think there is an issue and a problem here that Netflix are just this monolithic thing
Yep.
that could just throw money at a project.
Yep.
So there is no kind of struggle. You know, films are notoriously hard to get made, aren't they? Well, a lot of films. I'm not talking about franchise films here so much, but to get a new film off the ground or a film that's not a part of a franchise, you know, it takes people's passion and stuff. And Netflix are producing these all the time.
I think what you're sort of touching on there, I think Netflix, you know, and these other platforms, I'm sure, that are giving these opportunities to ideas is an absolutely amazing, wonderful thing. And as I said, the finish of this film is brilliant. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful film. There's no denying it. Is it fully realised? And when you're talking about like the jeopardy, the love, the attention that you're kind of touching on and put into it, probably not. And I think it might be linked back to maybe in our generation, film. I think it was Michael Cusack.
I think
said
every
that,
generation blames the one before, don't they?
Yeah, well, Michael Cusack said that he was really surprised when he became like a
mechanics.
Oh, right. Is that a line? Anyway, John Cusack said that when he became like a sort of famous artist, he was actor. He was really surprised to find out behind the scenes the people that are giving money to these films it's the mob. It's like massive drug barons that are at these parties with these arty types. It says, "Hey, I like you, man. I'm going to give you like $1 million. Go and make your crazy idea." Imagine that though. If you go away, you're an artist, right? You've got an idea. The mob has given you £2 million. Yeah, like a fucking gangster. He'll fucking kill you. Yeah. So you want to bring back at least 3-4 million. To do your job. So you're going to put your blood, your sweat, your tears, and that's where you get these kind of sort of films of that generation. I think maybe I'm talking utter shit. But whereas Netflix, I imagine Netflix probably say to you, "Okay, you have $1 million. Please try and return a percentage of or else we'll be really cross with you."
I don't think they do.
There's not that
problem. I think they just throw a load of money.
Well, there could even be that. So the jeopardy, I think, is not necessarily there. I think it's the ideas and that.
But if you look at the guy who wrote and directed this, Dan Gilroy, also wrote Nightcrawler.
Brilliant.
Nightcrawler is brilliant. So this is not a man, but he also wrote Kong Skull Island, the screenplay. So he's up and down. I think we're saying he's up and down.
Yeah.
But if you compare this to Nightcrawler, it's not a touch on Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fuckload better than Kongberg.
Yeah, it is.
So this is like number 1 Nightcrawler, number 2. What else has he done? No.
All right, look.
No, shush. What else?
He did Roman. He did Roman Jr. Israel Esquire.
I haven't watched that yet, so I can't comment.
The Bourne Legacy. Real Steel.
Yeah.
Velvet Buzzsaw's a good film.
Okay. Can I just ask one thing? Little quiz question.
Go on.
What other film have we reviewed which featured art as a central focus? Or focus? I don't remember.
Oh, he's losing confidence in his question now.
No, I know what it was. Yeah, art. Because what I wanted to ask you, Laurie, being an artist, do you think the art was any good?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Scanners. We like the art scanners and you didn't. You thought it was a bit GCSE.
No, it is a bit GCSE, but you were actually saying, you were kind of, you were saying you liked it, but you thought it was an excuse for David Cronenberg to put that art into the film. But no, it wasn't an excuse because it was that particular scanner that was his use of expelling
So, what about
the
this
voices.
art? Was it good art or not? I'll tell you what, I like the Flash Gordon bit.
There's,
you know, where they're sticking the hand in the sphere.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I didn't like the sphere too much. There was a couple of paintings I liked. And it was mainly about it was touching potentially upon child abuse, upset children at the hand of strong parents.
What a lovely
there was quite interesting paintings.
So, would you recommend this film?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely.
If it's a toss-up and you haven't seen this or Nightcrawler, watch Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah, Nightcrawler, yeah.
All right, let's go home.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
Great.
I am home.
We're all home. Forgot we live here, don't we?
Lighthouse.